Alrighty, it's movie plot time. So, today we are gonna do Night at the Museum, the first one. So, it starts out in New York City. Larry Daly is a divorced, aspiring inventor bouncing between jobs and apartments. His former wife, Erica, is sympathetic to his situation, but considers him a bad example to their 10-year-old son, Nick, an elementary schooler who considers quitting ice hockey and plans to become a bond trader like his mother's fiance, Dawn, when he grows up. While Larry worries that Nick admires Dawn instead of him, especially after Nick decides to invite Dawn to career day at his school. Larry decides to take a job as a night security guard at the Museum of Natural History, replacing retiring guards Cecil Fredericks and his colleagues Gus and Reginald. Cecil gives Larry a special instructions manual, warning him not to let anything in or out. On his first night, Larry soon discovers that the museum's exhibits come to life after sunset. He figures this out when he sees this Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton named Rexy getting water from the drinking fountain. And when he notices Dexter, who's this mischievous capuchin monkey, who at one point destroys Larry's manual, along with the other animals, and later he takes his keys. There's rivaling miniature civilians depicting the Old West, ancient Rome, and ancient Maya. A big Easter Island head who loves chewing gum. Wax models of Attila the Hun, American Civil War soldiers, and some cavemen, as well as Sacagawea, who is encased in glass and thus cannot hear anything from the other side. A horse-mounted Teddy Roosevelt. So after meeting Rexy, Larry has a little chat with the Easter Island head who wants to get some gum from him. But that chat is cut short when Attila the Hun comes running around the corner and chases Larry down the hall towards the elevator. Larry manages to get there on time before Attila and his gang catch him. That's when he meets Sacagawea on the next floor. So, getting back to the story, Teddy rescues Larry from the feuding miniature leaders Jedediah and Octavius, and explains that ever since an ancient Egyptian artifact, the golden tablet of Pharaoh Akhmenrah, arrived in 1952, the exhibits come to life each night, but would turn to dust if left outside the museum at sunrise. As Teddy helps restore order, Larry learns that Teddy is in love with Sacagawea, but is way too shy to speak to her. Well, he wouldn't be able to anyway, because she is encased in glass and cannot hear what's on the other side. Cecil, Reginald, and Gus check on Larry the next day, who has decided to quit, but Nick and Dawn stop by to congratulate him on his new job, and Larry decides to stay for his son's sake. And Cecil advised reading up on history. Larry is better able to control the exhibits, but is forced to extinguish a fire that the Neanderthals had caused in their own display. While Dexter steals Larry's keys again and unlocks a window, allowing a Neanderthal to jump out the window and escape onto the street. Upon seeing a group of homeless people using a fire pit, frustrated Larry again decides to quit and is unable to save the escaped Neanderthal from disintegrating from the rising sun, while his remains are swept up by a street sweeper. Nick witnesses museum director Dr. McPhee firing his father over the damaged Neanderthal exhibit. Though Larry convinces McPhee to reconsider, Rebecca Hutman, a museum guide and historian writing her dissertation on Sacagawea, believes Larry is mocking her when he tells her the museum's nighttime secret. Larry brings Nick to the museum, but nothing comes to life, and they discover Cecil, Gus, and Reg stealing the tablet and have deactivated it to stop the exhibits from interfering. Like the exhibits, the elderly guards receive enchanted vitality from the tablet and have applied to steal it along with other valuable artifacts to fund their retirement and frame Larry for their thievery. While in the back, Nick reactivates the tablet, bringing the museum back to life, and a chase ensues throughout the museum, but not before Larry tries to fight the elderly guards, only to prove that they are far more stronger than he is. Like when Cecil gave him a judo kick, and Gus decked him in the nose and slapped him in the face. They did everything. So when the chase is halted, Cecil snatches the tablets away and locks Nick and Larry in the Egyptian room. Larry releases Akhman-Ra's mummy from the sarcophagus, and the pharaoh helps Larry and Nick escape. They find the other exhibits fighting amongst themselves in the main area, and Larry convinces them to unite and catch the guards and recover the tablet. And they go with it. Gus and Reg get captured, while Cecil escapes in a Pony Express stagecoach. Teddy pushes Sacagawea out of Cecil's path and is sliced in half. But he is still alive. Larry pursues Cecil into Central Park, stopping him and regaining the tablet. Teddy finally bonds with Sacagawea as she repairs him. Rebecca sees the exhibits returning to the museum, and she realizes the truth, and Larry introduces her to Sacagawea. The next day, McPhee attempts to fire Larry after news reports about the night's strange events, such as the Neanderthals leaving cave paintings in the museum's subway station and Rexy's dinosaur tracks in Central Park. But the publicity boosts the museum's attendance, and Larry is rehired and celebrates the night with a party, with Nick, Rebecca, and the exhibits in attendance. As punishment, Cecil, Gus, and Reg are forced to work as museum janitors as punishment for their crimes, and they clean up after the party. Those were such old guards, and only one of them is still alive today. And the guy who played Cecil is still alive, Dick Van Dyke. The other guys, Gus and Reg, those guys are already dead. And Gus, who was played by Mickey Rooney, he died first, and then Reg, who was played by Bill Cobbs, died next. In fact, fact, Bill Cobbs died just recently, like a while ago. But yeah, that's Night at the Museum. Thanks for watching.